let me ask you a question. Do you think our society can handle this new arresting a president of the United States? Are we too fragile? It's time for a little bit of intellectual anarchy, where we engage in extreme truth, extreme common sense, and diversity of ideas. How is everyone doing today? So, last week I talked about the arrest of Donald Trump, and today I want to talk about the ramifications to our society. Now, this is a very big deal because everybody's threatened this, but not anybody has really done that. People threatened it from, at least since I was born, Jimmy Carter, to Ronald Reagan, to George Bush Sr., George Bush Jr., Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and now we have Joe Biden. And everybody's always threatened to arrest the former president for whatever reason that violated the other side's values. But this is the first time this happened. And you got to remember, this day is going to go down in history. You have the privilege or the misfortune to be born in this certain time and place to see this happen, because this is third world nation type of dealing with your political opponents. And we see this in Russia, we see this in North Korea, we see this in totalitarian states. And if it was going to happen, you think it's going to happen with extreme corruption or murder. If this was going to happen. But you never thought it was going to happen with such a little. I mean, Donald Trump, in his election and his agenda he did for 4 years, they came at him with serious allegations that if it may be true, it's frightening. Of course, they didn't prove it. And not only that, we found out later that it was created by the other side. There's actual proof of that. And I'll say this once again. If you're someone who believes Donald Trump was corrupted by Russia, you're the type of person who believes that Joe Biden stole the election. You come from that same mentality of stupidity and religious fervor towards your political ideology. That's my personal opinion. I think they're both pretty stupid, and I think pretty much people who believe that could be stupid or believing in something stupid. Believe me, I have a lot of stupid beliefs, but they're all reserved for religion. I try not to bring my stupid beliefs into politics if it's all possible. But will our society survive this? I don't know. Because the tit for tat is the problem. A very eager Republican DA could go after Joe Biden himself, where he's at. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, and the people who are clapping today about Donald Trump being arrested will be incredulous to see it happen to somebody who they support and like. But they have opened the door. They have opened the door for this to happen. And I don't see how it's not. And if the Republicans not that it's a smart thing to do. It's a bad thing to do if someone can turn the other cheek, but I doubt it, because all of Republicans, the actual Republicans, not the parties who is in charge of it, if you don't hit back with the same amount of fervor, they're going to be very upset with you. If you're going after one of their people, you have to go after one of their people, which would be politically smart but detrimental for our country. Because the Democrats didn't care. They really don't care about our country at all. They don't. They keep on making so many bad mistakes, and they have such a short attention span and a short moral compass that they constantly make stupid decisions. So, going forward, will our republic survive this? I don't know. It's very scary. Here's the problem. People think that the world we created today is easy to make. It's super, super, super hard to make. It is fragile enough to be broken. People who are out in the street asking for change, they truly don't want change. They just want to be heard, because the changes that they are offering will overthrow society, and there'll be mass murder. There'll be mass stealing, the stealing of resources. There's a police car right now. Mass unemployment. The lawlessness like you couldn't believe. Like, we're dealing with right now what is truly the genders. What is a woman and what is a man, and can someone who was born a man be a woman? We are fielding these questions right now, and if any point the government tries to force these ideas down on us, there will be a big problem in our society. We mostly say, you can do what you want to do. In this country, you have every right to be wrong. In this country, you have every right to be bad. And in this country, you have every right to be lewd and crude. But you can't force that on other people, especially children. And now the children thing is getting talked about. And people are willing to destroy children's innocence so society will accept them in their delusion. This is a big problem. And I don't know if our society can come back from that, because we are consistently tearing down the pillars of our society for a woke and unthoughtful and untruthful agenda based upon 100% emotions. 100% emotions. And this thing, going after Donald Trump and arresting a president of the United States of America, first time that's happened, an arrest. These people are just emotionally clapping. And they are moral and emotional idiots. As soon as a Republican attacks Barack Obama, they're going to go ape shit. They will. They're going to act like, where did this come from? Because they're not intelligent people. They are emotional people. So this emotion of throw this guy in jail, they don't, to hell with the consequences. As soon as the consequences come, they'll go, what the hell? Why is there consequences? But we are a fragile society. It took us a very long time to build a society where people feel free to riot in the streets, to protest, to consider themselves a gender that they're not born with, to marry someone of the opposite sex. That is all provided by Western style democracy, the Western world, by men. And all these things are being torn down because these people cannot, nor do they have the tools to build a society. They want the society that everybody else has built. They want to kick everybody off the ladder. They're standing on the ladder, the platform that Western style democracy built by men, and knock them off and try to build something ridiculous on top of it. And we saw in Seattle, that shit just don't work. You can't govern a state or a nation based on emotions. You will fall into quicksand and drown. So my friends, even in these dire situations, you too can create a more powerful intellect and identity to compete in this new futuristic economy where those who are weak-minded creates avenue and opportunities for those who believe in truth and are not easily offended or easily triggered. And if you want to be a part of a group, a Facebook group, where we talk about entrepreneurism, personal responsibility, one of the pillars being torn down in our society today, then you can go to the Brightburn Facebook group, the Brightburn Society Facebook group, where we gather together and we talk about mindsets and belief system and training concerning being an entrepreneur with like-minded people, supporting each other in their journey to creating a more powerful life, a more powerful story going forward. So I'm inviting you to that. You can go to my QR code right there. Take a picture of that. It'll link you to everything on that. It'll link you to the Facebook group. Or you can go to jamessalazarmedia.com/sling. That will also take you to wherever I'm at, and you can find that link in the show notes. So this is James signing out of today. We are a very fragile society, and what we have built up doesn't happen by accident, but it is at threat by the highly emotional and unintelligent. So this is James signing out of the Intellectual Anarchy.